Yo, Joe, Phantomaniacs, and welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. If you follow Needless Things channel on Instagram, you know that the week has turned out quite differently from what I promoted on Sunday. That's because sometimes plans change. So I found Recondo in the store, and today we're going to find out if he's a Recondo or a Recondon't. I already had him pre-ordered from Target, but seeing 3 there in the store and noticing some differences in paint apps, mainly his mustache and the camo, I was like, you know what, let me pick the best one of these, and then we'll see what Target sends me. And fortunately, on the last day that I had to do this review, the one from Target arrived as well, and there are differences. I am not opening both of these. This is the keeper, and the reason why, we'll look at the Target one here, and you can see there's a big missing part in the camo deco on the leg, and this left leg was the big problem in the store as well, because if you look, and I really don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see this, there's also right in the crease, right in the fold of his pants there, the paint didn't quite get in. It's not as bad on this one as it was on the ones in the store, but the ones in the store had the same thing. So the one that I picked had the least issues like that. And then the mustache, now this one is a little better than the ones that were in the store. But I noticed that the mustache was inconsistent. The way that the very, very curly Q edges were painted was not consistent across the 3 that were in the store. So this one is going to get returned. This one is our keeper that we're unboxing today because it is, if you look at the leg there, you can see definitely better than the one we were just looking at. And we'll go ahead and get him out of there and take a look at this guy. I was very excited about Tiger Force Recondo. I love all these Tiger Force figures. I think they're great. I think they're much more toyetic. Well, not more. Well, no, they are. They're more toyetic than the regular designs, to the point where if we didn't actually get a regular version of Bazooka, Recondo, and Outback, I wouldn't be mad about it. Like, I'm glad we're getting them, but I like these versions so much that I wouldn't be too mad. Got awesome art on the side. It has been mentioned a few times by listeners to Audible Interlude, a G.I. Joe podcast, which we've got a live stream coming up this Monday at 8 p.m. on this very channel. Some of our listeners have mentioned Quigley Down Under as being sort of a inspiration for this likeness, possibly. And right here, I feel like you see it. It's definitely got those tones to it, which if you haven't seen that movie starring Tom Selleck, awesome movie. But this is very exciting to me. Look at that Tiger Force Dragonfly, which I know it has a different name, and I can't think what it is, because I never had any of this when I was a kid. I never had any of the Tiger Force or Python Patrol. This is great. I love this. I would love to have a poster. This is one of my favorite pieces of art from Classified so far. Just really, this style very much appeals to me. Back of the box, you've got the jungle scene they've been using for Tiger Force and Python Patrol. Side of the box, you've got his specialties. And we're going to open him up right now and get a closer look at this figure. And to find out, once again, if it's Recondo or Recondon't. Yeah, I'm going to run that into the ground. The back here, I love the Tiger Force logo just in the background. On the blue and orange is very striking. Great looking packaging. All right, get rid of our little piece of paper, little legalese. Pop this guy out of here. I just love these. I cannot wait for the next round of Tiger Force and Python Patrol announcements. I would not be surprised if we have more Tiger Force and Python Patrol in our hands this quarter. I think these were so delayed. Well, the first wave was really, really delayed. These were somewhat delayed. So I think mustache looks pretty good. I think they're coming sooner than later. All right, so let's take a look at that portrait first. Definitely one of the most unique ones we've seen in Classified thus far. That mullet is phenomenal. Okay, I can already see the bottom of his blouse is out of place here. But this looks better than I thought it would as a solution for having his untucked shirt. It matches, because this belt and the bottom of his shirt here is a whole separate piece. But they have matched the black to the shirt very nicely. I don't think that could look much better. And it's nice and tight on his waist. So really good job on that one. That effect works very well. I'm impressed. He's got this great, I guess that's not a shoulder harness, but this really cool, unique harness that is similar to, oh, by the way, let's take a look. The original Recondo. Like I said, I never have owned the Tiger Force Recondo, but we can take a look at the original and compare the elements, at least, of these two figures. I do wish that this one, while he does have boots that are, well, there's our little guy. And he does have boots that are pretty different for Classified. But it would have been kind of cool if he had the trousers going all the way down. But then, what do you do about this? So I get that they had kind of an aesthetic issue with making this. Because these, like this just, if these went up higher, it would have a really weird look. I don't know. I think they found a pretty good solution to not doing exactly what the original had. He has got a more detailed version of that sheath on his thigh. Looks great. I love the pockets and stuff on that. The belt, I like the addition of, I guess, the compass right here on the belt. So and he's got actual rolled up short sleeves, which is awesome. And of course that portrait, they've done a nice job of hyper detailing the original. And if you notice, Recondo does have kind of longer hair for Joe's at the time. So great update. I'm very, like I said, I'd be okay if this is the only Recondo we got, but we know it isn't. So I'm very excited to see the regular version, get that one in hand as well. Articulation wise, I'm not going to get too deep because, every time we go over the articulation, it's all good. The only issue that we've been having lately is how stuck is it, how sturdy are some of the parts. And these hip joints tend to be kind of the big concern, because those pegs in there don't always feel as sturdy. Oh, but that's got a nice movement to it. So Recondo moves a little better than some of the other ones I've gotten recently. Everything feels good, no stress marks for that guy. Very interesting. I don't know what the reasoning behind that would be. We do have, it's not bad, but it is noticeable that the knees and the elbows are different colors from the surrounding plastic. And I gotta say, if you cannot match them up, then paint these. Make them look like knee pads. Do something else. But it's not terrible, and when I put it on the shelf, I'll probably never think about it again. But it's a noticeably different color, and I really do wish Hasbro would address that. The elbows, not quite as bad. I mean, you can tell, but whatever. It's not a big deal. They're relatively similar shades of Caucasian. All right. Gosh, one more look at that portrait close up. Really great, unique. He's got this kind of smirk going on. Just a lot of personality, a lot of character built into this guy. He's great. Also, Kurt Russell as Wyatt Earp from Tombstone is another one that has been brought up by our listeners. And I think that's fair. So, accessory-wise, he has got a backpack with a roll on it. Now, I will say this is a miss to me. And look, backpack looks great. I dig it. But I always loved this bar on the top of the original with this, sewn portion visible right here. The support or whatever it is. I'm not a backpackologist, so I couldn't tell you exactly what the frame up here, I guess. So I am a little disappointed that we don't get the frame portion of the backpack, but you can see everything else. The canteen is there. Maybe a little more paint on this would have been nice. I like that the bedroll is painted. But I think the canteen, at the very least, could have gotten some paint. I don't expect them to paint all the buckles and stuff, whatever, that's fine. It's nice if they do it. But looks good. I mean, it's a good backpack, but when comparing it to this one, I just always loved the unique shape and width and style of this backpack. So, whoop, little fella fell over. This one is good, but it doesn't quite get the job done for me. We have got Recondo's signature hat. Now, I don't know if you've seen a little movie called Crocodile Dundee, but Crocodile Dundee was a big reason why Recondo was such a hit with me. One of my favorite characters, because that, my friends, I know this type of hat has a different name, but that is a Crocodile Dundee hat. And that's one of the reasons why this guy was so cool. Done a great job with the hat. I love the fact that the hat band is painted. You've even got the eyelets, the vents on top. And I like this navy blue that they've chosen to go with the rest of the Tiger Force design. I definitely will prefer the hat in that olive drab original color. But this looks good. It's very distinctive and cool. I like it. Let's see, these are usually pretty easy to stand up. I'd like to stand him off to the side. Oh, little comparison. You've got 00 Snake Eyes right here. So you can see Recondo right on par with him. Got Recondo's rifle, which does have a removable magazine. And the original figure had a pretty distinctive rifle with its wrapped barrel here, and some of that has been recreated. I think they've done a pretty nice job of upscaling it. It looks good. They've managed to retain that distinctive look, and the wrapping does have paint on it. Well, okay. So the wrapping on the barrel and the grip are painted, but it looks like there's some back here on the stock that should have been painted but isn't. Not a big deal, but I mean, it is an oversight. It's definitely something they missed. But very cool looking rifle. I dig it. I'm going to put that right in, and I'll be curious to see if it's painted on the regular version of Recondo. I'm also going to be curious to see what color his rifle is, because we know people don't like green guns, even if that's what the Joes originally came with. And I think we've seen a render. I believe we've seen a render of the regular version of Recondo. I don't know. I'll have to go back and look. But I don't necessarily want the rifle to be green, but I hope it's not exactly the same as this one. And I hope that little portion of the wrapping on the stock is painted on the regular one. Okay, so got his rifle, got his backpack. Oh, that's great. I'm so happy they fixed the backpacks on these to where they plug in nice and tight now. And then his straps and everything and his holster rig here. It all looks good together. They've done a great job with that. That's a knife. Another little Crocodile Dundee reference. That is a killer, like, bush knife, whatever. That is going to go right into... Oh, very clever. Okay, so obviously the bottom of that blade is much wider than this portion of the blade, but they have contoured the sheath on his thigh in the shape of the knife, and what they've done is there's actually a slit. I mean, you can see it, but it is very, very subtle. There's a slit to allow the thicker portion of the blade to pass through the thinner portion of the hilt, and then it seats perfectly. Oh, very clever. That's a nice touch. Because a lot of times you would just have this really thick thing that didn't show off the contours of the blade, and I love seeing that here. Very cool. Well done design. And then he's got a very small pistol. Nicely sculpted, looks good. Oh, and it has both the pistol and the rifle have the holes for blast effects. And then our pistol is going to go right into that rig. Fits in nice and snug, looks good. And there he is. What time is it? It's Recondo time. It says watch just like the original. I'm very happy with this guy. There are a couple little flaws, a couple things that I wish were a little better, a little tighter, but overall, I really dig the design. I love the color scheme. Very well done. Hasbro's done it again. This is a great figure, and I can't wait to see the regular version. Thanks for watching, you guys. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about Needless Things. Come back every week for more toy reviews. And as always, yo, Joe!
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.